Have you ever heard a sound in the dead of night that just wasn't right? Something that sent a shiver down your spine and made you question if you were truly alone? For me, it wasn't a creak in the floorboards or the wind howling outside. It was a voice that whispered my name. This all started a few months ago in the old farmhouse I'd just moved into. It was my dream home, charming, rustic, and miles away from the city's hustle. The first few nights were peaceful, filled with the gentle sounds of the countryside. But then, on the third night, it happened. Just as I was drifting off to sleep, I heard it, as clear as day. Alex ... I sat bolt upright, my heart hammering against my ribs. The room was silent. I told myself it was just my imagination, a remnant of a dream I couldn't remember. I was tired, stressed from the move. It had to be that. So, I lay back down, pulled the covers up to my chin, and eventually fell into a restless sleep. The next night it happened again. Alex ... double quotes. This time it sounded closer, like it was right beside my bed. I turned on the lamp, scanning every corner of the room. Nothing. The old wooden wardrobe, the armchair with my clothes draped over it, the window looking out into the moonlit yard. Everything was exactly as it should be. But the feeling of being watched was overwhelming. I started to get spooked. I checked all the locks twice. I even left the hallway light on. But sleep didn't come easy. Every creak of the old house made me jump. I began to wonder if I was just overtired, if my mind was playing tricks on me. It's easy to dismiss things you can't explain, right? But this felt different. It felt personal. Over the next week, the whisper became a nightly ritual. Alex ... Sometimes it was faint, like a distant echo. Other times it was sharp and clear, as if someone was standing right over me. I started to dread going to bed. I'd stay up late, watching movies, reading, anything to delay the inevitable. I was exhausted, running on caffeine and anxiety. My friends noticed I was on edge. When I tried to explain it, they suggested I was just having trouble adjusting to the old house. Old houses make weird noises, they'd say. I wanted to believe them, I really did. But a house doesn't know your name. Desperate for answers, I decided to do some research on the property. I spent a Saturday at the local town archive, digging through dusty records and old newspapers. I learned the house was built in the late 1800s and had belonged to the same family, the Weatherbys, for generations. One found an old family portrait. And there, in the back row, was a young woman with sad eyes who looked uncannily familiar. Her name was Eleanor Weatherby. As I read more about her, my blood ran cold. Eleanor had lived in the house her entire life. She was engaged to a man named, you guessed it, Alexander. But a week before their wedding, Alexander vanished without a trace. He was last seen heading towards the woods behind the farmhouse. Eleanor was heartbroken. The town records said she spent the rest of her life waiting for him, calling his name out into the night from her bedroom window, my bedroom. Suddenly, it all clicked into place. The voice wasn't calling asterisk for asterisk me. It was calling for another Alex. I wasn't being haunted. I was just an accidental audience to a century-old heartache. That night, standing in my bedroom, I didn't feel scared anymore. I felt a profound sense of sadness for Eleanor. Instead of trying to block out the sound, I decided to respond. When the whisper came, Alex ... I spoke into the darkness. He's not here, I said softly. But I hope you find peace. The room was still. For the first time in weeks, there was no echo, no second call, just a deep, profound silence. The whispering stopped after that night. It never came back. I didn't know if I truly connected with the spirit or if I just managed to convince my own mind to let go of the fear. Maybe acknowledging the story gave it, and me, a sense of closure. The house no longer feels eerie. It feels calm, settled. It's a home again. Sometimes when the wind blows just right, I think I can hear a faint melody from the past. But it's no longer a chilling whisper. It's more like a gentle sigh, a final goodbye. I still live in the old farmhouse, and I love it more than ever. It's a place with a history, a story of love and loss that I was lucky enough to stumble upon. It taught me that sometimes the things that scare us the most are just stories waiting to be understood. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey. If you have any similar experiences, I'd love to read about them in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this story, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing for more. It really helps the channel out. Stay curious, stay brave, and I'll see you in the next video.